Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the John and a Tie podcast today, featuring our very special Alex Senpai
Hi.
and your chivalry of Shota's Shotaro.
I'm cringing so hard right
The
now.
funny thing is, on this is gonna look so bad on mine because you pointed in the exact opposite direction of where either of us are on my screen.
Well, you know what? On my screen, I'm correct, and that's all that matters. And a
Aren't as
very special,
visually gifted as you, Alex, so you shouldn't judge them.
and a very special welcome to the co-host of this podcast, Natai.
Who was down
Low,
below,
low, low.
actually.
Doing background music since 1997.
All right,
And taking
what-
motherfucking giant gulps of whiskey since 15 minutes ago.
Wow, straight.
What
feet.
what you
had
don't know is that
zero-
bottle was full about 15 minutes ago.
We had zero prep
Totally.
for this episode. All right. To preface everything and to apologize, we have zero prep. We did not prepare. Natai
No,
fucked up
at
on
all.
the date. And then I was like, fuck it. I'm in here. Let's just do the John and Natai podcast. Then Alex and Sho had the audacity to show up to our recording.
Those bitches.
So, Natai,
Yes, John, my
what are
co-host.
what are we talking about tonight?
So tonight we're talking about whatever the fuck we want. Starting off with the new obsession I had for the past 6 months.
Okay. And
So
what is
indulge
it?
me. Oh. No, that's an obsession I had for the past few years.
No, it
Shows.
it
Going for
shows
a
new
few years
fragrance, obsession.
So, hear me out. Pro wrestling.
Oh god. You fallen down a rabbit. You fallen down a rabbit
Okay.
hole you'll never get back from.
Okay, this is my time. This is my time. So for the past 6 months or whatever. Exactly. So I don't know even how long it's been. So a good friend of mine told me, "Hey, dude, so you know this wrestling I've been into for ages?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What?" So he's like, "Watch it with me." I'm like, "Okay." So I watched some of it with him, and some I watched with him live WrestleMania, which is like 8 hours. So fuck me. Anyway, here's the thing though, because fuck WWE. No one gives a shit about that.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
But-
you're right.
So there's a new organization up and coming called All Elite Wrestling, aka AEW. So what I want to talk about now is how I actually got into wrestling. And prior to that, I didn't give a shit about it, and now
Okay.
now I fell in love with it.
Okay.
So hear me out. Okay. Let me set a scene to you. Okay.
All right. It was a cool day.
Imagine
on July.
it was a cool day on July, and 5 friends had this like group called the Elite, because of course they were, because it's wrestling. Fuck it.
I like the
Then-
story so far.
Then there was a tournament of the tag team championship show. So basically, 2 people, 1 team, they battle it out for the championship title. Okay. So far so good. Now, part of this like group called the Elite, there's this duo called the Young Bucks who are brothers, right? Doesn't matter. They're just brothers. They're really good. And then, for some reason or another, the management decided that they wanted another team in the tournament. So they picked the other 2 people from the group, one of them being Kenny Omega and the other one being a cowboy. I shit you not.
Okay.
Anyway, tournament goes on and on and on. And this team of Kenny and the Cowboy are like really bad, but somehow they manage to get through matches and they win. And after a long stretch of time, they actually are the winners of the championship title, surprising everyone in the crowd. But
Right.
they somehow do it. And now you get tensions between them and the Young Bucks, or like the brothers who are also part of the same group.
Wait.
And the
so
Cowboy,
Is this a wrestling game? Or like
no,
actual
this is a
wrestling?
wrestling. This is actual wrestling.
I was about to ask, is this a plot to a new anime coming out?
Let me preface this. Everything I've said till now is very fake. No, just to make sure we're all on the same page. It's
Okay.
really fake. There's a team
It's
with a
the real
dinosaur.
fake wrestling. Okay.
Yeah, it's real fake wrestling. One of the
Real
teams
fake wrestling, okay.
has Tarzan and a dinosaur in it. I shit you not. It's amazing. And
Are
now,
you sure
these
this isn't an anime? Are you absolutely sure?
Man, that's how I sell it to people. I'm like, it's fucking anime. But anyway, hear me out. So now, these two tag teams are about to battle it out. One of them being the Young Bucks and the other being the one in the Cowboy. Doesn't matter. And somehow these two dumbasses, one of them is like getting beers from the crowd, and like the Cowboy, the whole shtick with him lately is that just grabbing beers from the crowd and just drinking from it because he's drunk. Whatever.
That's
it
always
works.
something you should do. That's something my mom
It's
always
like
told
Stone
me to
Cold
do.
Steve Austin back in the day.
Yeah,
way
something
back
like
in
that.
the day. Remember that time
Anyway.
he brought a beer truck into the wrestling ring and sprayed Vince McMahon down? That was great.
Oh yeah.
I should
Bless
look it
the
up
old
later.
WWE. Was that Raw back then?
That
No,
was
it
on
still
that was on
WWE.
Raw back then. That was
Yeah,
an
Raw.
episode of Raw.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
I remember. Well, I watched
So-
it.
Of course you would.
I should catch up on that because I don't know shit about WWE. Not really. But anyway, these two duos were about to battle it out in like one of their main events, their pay-per-views or whatever you want to call it. And then it culminated one of the best fights you've ever seen on TV, dude. Kicks
Okay.
flying everywhere, friends battling against each other. And that's the story so far. And the cool thing is, like, they're supposed to be best friends, but it's gonna explode soon. So I'm really enjoying this stupid shit show. It's really good, actually. And I just want to talk about it because, like, I somehow managed to fall in love with it, and I never knew I had it in me, you know?
So I remember I wasn't into wrestling until I played the WWE versus Raw games on PS2.
Okay.
My best
Mhm.
friend at the time, Christian, I remember he invited me over to his house. We just played on his PS2 and we were playing wrestling and I didn't know how to play. And he was like whooping my ass. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck is wrestling though? So then that night I stayed up and watched it. I was like, yo, I love this. I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like the Stone Cold Stunner, he just kicks him in the nuts and then just like grabs their head. Pow! Like, come on, it's so cool.
It's so cool. So dumb.
Oh man, it's so dumb, but it's so funny. I don't know what it is. Like, I thought it was real at first, right? I didn't know wrestling was fake.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: real wrestling is fake. Some
But fake
backyard
wrestling is real.
Yeah, no, there's some backyard wrestling stuff that still happens, and you can find it online and stuff that's actually like real. But that's not as fun because when people get hurt, it doesn't become a really good show. I guess if you're drunk, it doesn't really matter. But fake wrestling is super funny to watch.
It's so ridiculous.
Like
Yeah.
Natai is describing in his new one, like back in the day with WWE and Raw, they had so much drama. They'd have like a bunch of bullshit. And I do remember reading about, I think it was in WWE. There was, I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was one of the Hardy brothers. Someone used like his real life
Yes.
divorce case or something where they were doing a TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs. And they had like a briefcase hanging above, right, that he had to get to in TLC.
They still have that. They still have that.
That contained like adoption or divorce papers or some shit. And I was just like, that's so fucked up that you would use like, I don't remember if it was
Like an IRL storyline and put it in the fake
Yeah.
story.
Exactly.
it's
Like
so-
for example, in this like new organization, they have this one guy called Joey Janela, the bad boy. I don't know. And apparently he used to date this one wrestler called Penelope Cruz. Now there's another wrestler called Kip Sabian who is now dating her. So whenever these three are like in the same area, they put in this like this stupid tidbit about all these three. So let's say this guy Kip Sabian, who's like currently dating her, is like getting this really good move in, and then he's like leaving the ring and just going to kiss her, right? And then in the middle of him approaching her, Joey Jones just approaches, but like
And then
in
he
the
just-
middle of them, and they both kiss him on the cheeks because why
Okay.
not?
What the
Dude,
fuck?
it's so dumb. I love it.
There was a WWE moment. I don't remember who it was. I just remember seeing this clip where like he goes for the kiss for the girl, then he fucking suplexes her afterward.
I saw that clip.
Do you
Then
know?
he goes in for his no suplex.
Do you know what there needs to be? There needs to actually be like a WWE anime, like an actually licensed
Oh my
WWE.
God.
Like
Dude.
WWE had its own like film division, like its own movie making division, which is when you see wrestlers in movies, that's probably because either it was partially made by them or funded by them. I would love to see an actual WWE anime made by someone like Trigger. Oh, that'd be great.
I mean,
It's
there
so
is
ridiculous.
technically that one. There was this one Tiger
WWE in
Mask
space.
anime. There was this one Tiger Mask anime that was like a few years ago, but it wasn't really good and more focused on the Japanese scene, which is like
Yeah.
pretty solid from what I hear. But it's like
Yeah.
the animation stuff was pretty bad. But it's like,
Well,
yeah,
last
it's so ridiculous.
I think last season we had Kemono Michi. I read that.
Yeah.
And it's about wrestling. It's about a guy in Japan who's like a wrestler, and then it's
Yeah.
an isekai, but it's like ridiculous isekai.
I
It's
wanted
really
to watch
dumb.
it, but the first episode is so bland in terms of the production. I was like, yeah, it's not. It's the same author as Konosuba apparently, but I just didn't
Oh,
grab
yeah.
me.
It's
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous. It's just like Konosuba, how it pokes fun at isekai. Kemono Michi
Yeah.
Mask is just about poking fun of isekai, but even more ridiculous. You know?
So are,
Yeah.
are we saying that the author of Konosuba just likes to take the shit out of everything?
yeah,
Exactly.
honestly. the
Speaking
author
of
really
which, it was announced very recently that the next volume of Konosuba is going to be the last,
the last
one.
one.
The very last
Yes!
one.
volume 17.
Yeah, volume
Yeah,
17 of the
17.
light novel, yeah.
Do you think we'll get an anime for the rest of the light
Well,
novels? 'Cause
it will
I
take
need it.
it will
I
take
need it.
many more seasons to finish out the
Dude, I'm okay with that. Just give it like okay. So I watched the movie like a few days ago, and it was amazing. Second, like you guys watched it yet? The movie?
I have. Do you know why it was amazing? Because Studio Dean didn't touch it anymore. That's why it was amazing.
I saw the new art. I don't really know if I like the new art though. Like it's kind of
No,
like
just watch the movie, dude. Just watch the movie. It's so fucking
Okay.
good. It's so fucking good.
maybe.
No, not
after
maybe.
this.
Just
But-
watch it. It's on
so
Crunchyroll. What are you
the-
doing?
The movie brings us up to I think volume 5 of the light novel, and there's going to
Yeah.
be 17. So you need at least like 4 or 5 more seasons to get everything in.
Dude, I'm okay with that. Why are you on him? That's okay.
You say that, but we got to find out how it ends.
I like how Sho has said nothing this entire time. He's
Dude,
just-
I said
don't know what
wrestling and
sports
Sean
are.
just.
I don't know what
I said
zombie
wrestling.
is. I don't know what Studio Dean is.
Hmm.
I don't know what any of these things are.
Dude, Studio Dean, the one that gave us Rakugo Shinju. What are you talking about?
And
I
they gave us
forgot it.
initial D
If
third
it's more
stage.
than a month ago, I've already forgot.
But bringing it back to wrestling, I just want to
Mhm.
thank wrestling for bringing us the best actors. Like I love The Rock. I love him. I like the fact that Batista is also trying to get into acting now, and John Cena tried. I remember John Cena
True.
tried to get into acting,
He tried. He really tried.
and it flopped super hard with like The Marine or whatever, and then like his other like 2 other movies.
Yeah,
and
he's
now he's
2 other
back
like
in
comedy
wrestling.
movies.
And I like The Rock though. I liked Hobbs and Shaw. I've hated the Fast series after Tokyo Drift, because Tokyo Drift I thought was fun. I loved it. Like
Fucking weeb.
It's the only one I watched.
Bingo. If you see me in Tokyo, with the Teriyaki Boys, like the drifting song, like I loved it. You know, that's my middle school right there. And but after that, I kind of really didn't care about the Fast series. But then I saw Hobbs and Shaw, and I fucking loved it. I loved how stupid and over the top it was. Like they had The Rock do the helicopter scene with like Chris Evans in the Captain America.
Okay,
Where
gotcha.
he pulls the
He's
helicopter,
just pulling the
"Yeah!"
plane.
flex the muscles. Like, oh, I was like, oh my god, I love this. This is so stupid, but I love it. But other than that, I kind of do hate how some of the wrestling is super fucked up. Like you know, fucking Hulk Hogan, right? Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan,
Brother.
Brother.
hell yeah, brother. I remember. Do you guys remember Hulk Hogan's reality TV show?
Yes, I do,
Had
because it
one?
was filmed here in Florida where I live.
What? Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
he
yeah.
had one?
Yeah, so
Mhm.
Hulk Hogan had a fucking reality TV show, and it was trashy, but it made TV. You know, I think it was on MTV or VH1 or some shit in America.
VH1, I think.
And it's the stupidest thing. And I remember why it got canceled, and it's super fucked up. Like, if fans of Hulk Hogan, you guys need to hear this, but Hulk Hogan is not a decent guy.
No,
least
he's
back-
not.
Back in the day when he did this, like the fact that he wants to fuck his own daughter, that's a little bit much.
Yeah,
okay?
that's a little
You
bit
can-
too Japanese for me.
you can keep that in your anime, like whatever, work of art. But in real life, it's like oof. Hold on there, buddy.
I like how
But,
you
I
tried to
remember-
walk that back after the fact. Like, cool, bro. It was a joke. It was a joke. Like, it didn't sound like a joke when you said it, man.
Exactly.
It's just a prank, bro.
To his credit, though, his daughter is kind of hot.
Oh no, she's 100% hot. A little
I
trashy,
need to
but
look,
still
I
hot.
need to
But
look at a picture of that.
let me tell you why his show got canceled. So I remember his daughter's friend in real life died in a car crash,
Mhm.
and Hulk Hogan was like, "We need to capitalize on this and make the next season of Hogan's Show or whatever the fuck it was called about this death." And then the studio producers were the ones who were like, "That's even too scummy for us." Right? VH1 or MTV, whoever, the TV producers were like, "That's too scummy for us, Hulk Hogan. We can't do that. In fact, you know what? You're canceled."
Yeah.
And
Mm.
This was
Now,
also
I
like
remember-
shortly afterwards the whole sex tape thing came out too.
Yeah,
Hulk
So
Hogan.
with him and his
okay.
daughter? Wow.
No.
no.
So
God
no.
damn it.
So it was no. So there's a radio personality here in Central Florida where I live called Bubba the Love Sponge, and his great name. That's his legit legal name. Bubba the Love Sponge Clem is his legal name. And the sex tape was him and Bubba's wife. Like he pawned his wife off to Hulk Hogan, and then they filmed it, and then that came out, and it was a whole like brouhaha and legal battle, and it was bullshit. But that happened like I think a year or so, maybe a year and a half after that whole thing came out with the Hulk Hogan and his daughter.
Mm.
So I feel like
Okay.
that sex tape thing, like, first of all, if you're into wife swap, like, good on you, man. Like good. That's a cool.
Let the
thing,
good times
man.
roll.
Yeah,
You
let the
do
good
you,
times
bro.
roll. Yeah, exactly. You do you. You know. But I feel like that entire sex tape thing was staged, because this is like coming right off the heels of like the Kardashian sex tape, and like, who's that girl from High School Musical, the one who got her nudes leaked?
Vanessa
Wait,
Hudgens.
what?
Vanessa
Yeah,
Hudgens.
Vanessa Hudgens.
I like how Sho knew that right off the top of his head.
So this is coming off the heels of like, oh, sex scandal sells. So I feel like Hogan and Bubba teamed up on this. All right, they teamed up just to like manufacture drama, because Hogan was like, oh no, the TV producers fucking shut down my show because they think I'm too scummy. Well, I've got to keep in the limelight, and that it really sucks. You know,
Yeah.
To think that Hulk Hogan, you know, the image of America in the 80s or 90s. I don't remember when Hogan.
80s and late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, like whenever Hulk Hogan was in era. You remember Hogan's Heroes? Anyone
Yes.
remember Saturday morning cartoons? Hogan's Heroes? Like whatever, Natai, you're not American. You don't know how to bleed red, white, and blue.
Neither is Sho.
Nope.
Oh
Nope.
shit, show's not American either. Oh fuck. So only Alex gets me as a true American, because I am also American.
America, fuck
America.
But
Fuck
yeah, it's like, I think it's really sad to see how Hogan, one of the best showmen of WWE, has turned out because of this. But we do have success stories like The Rock.
Yeah, the
Which
one
is
thing I
cool.
loved about that era when Hulk was like really good was the feuds he used to have with Macho Man Randy Savage. Those were fun.
Cream of the crop.
Ooh, snap into a Slim Jim.
Randy Savage.
I used to
You can't
love
forget-
the feuds that they would have because they'd have the best one-liners towards each other, and it was so fun to watch. And like,
I'll tell you what, brother, you get in that ring tonight, and I'll destroy you.
the feud,
Okay, Hogan.
the feud itself was 100% fake and like 100% written behind the scenes,
Obviously,
but they
yeah.
both sold it so goddamn well.
What if I told you? So Jake the Snake, so he just debuted in AEW as like a coach of one of like the villains in the show, right? So he's just there like.
Of course.
So he's just like
Jake the
appears there when he's talking. It's like. It's like I don't know what you're saying, but fuck it, sure.
But he's the murmuring villain.
Yeah, exactly.
That every
So good.
shonen has nowadays.
That's the thing. It blows my mind. So when I'm talking to some people about wrestling, and again, I was never into wrestling until very recently. Like I don't know if very recently, like 6 months or even I don't know, whatever. But it's anime, dude. It's like long. It's I don't really. It's like long-term storytelling, and it's like when it's done well, as it is in AEW, and I'm not saying that just because that's the only one I watch. It's actually really good. It's so well. You like see how these people like the rivalries and the feuds are like progressing through time, and it's so good. I'm shocked at how good it is because it's like it's wrestling, but it's so good. And also I can't, but I really appreciate all the production and stunt work that goes into that whole thing because it is really impressive how these people are just flying around in these stupid costumes and it still works. Like we talked about the brothers.
Yeah.
So Matt Hardy, one of them, just debuted in AEW, and he's like,
Okay.
yeah, and he's like has this like stupid drone flying around, and they're like, it's a character of its own reason. It's like, it's so good though. There's like this one woman where Chris Jericho was like the former champion. It's like he's in the ring and it's like looking at Matt Hardy, who's like backstage at the really back of the arena, and he's just like teleporting from seat to seat just to fuck with him. And it's so stupid, but it works somehow. I'm shocked at how good it is. It's so entertaining. It's so fun, and when it's done
Just
well,
get someone that
like,
comes out there as his walk-up theme. It's just like fucking Fist of the North Star, and he comes
dude!
out, and all you hear is "Omae wa mo shinderu."
Shinderu.
Nani?
Nani?
like that whole storyline I just like talked about like at the beginning of the segment about these two like duo teams that are like fighting each other. Like I really handed up at how ridiculous it is, but at the core of it, it's like really solid storytelling. Like these people like really good friends just battling each other, like going to town at each other. It's like seeing how probably soon it's gonna like explode and like just shit's gonna go all around them. But like it's so good. Like there's this really good video by Super iPatch Wolf where he talks about why wrestling is like really fascinating and actually really interesting, and which I recommend to anyone who is like even a bit interested in it. But yeah, it's really insane to me how much I felt this shit because it's really weird but so good.
I'm really glad, Natai, that you finally get to experience what every like pubescent American boy has experienced since time immemorial.
Especially if you grew up in the 90s.
Like, I'm glad. Like, this is a universal feeling around the world where when you see real fake wrestling for the first time, you're just like mind blown. Like, this is so stupid, but it's so amazingly stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good to know. It's good to know.
I say
Like,
the same thing.
It's really good.
I say the same thing to people who like they don't understand what motorsports is about, but then they go to a race for the first time and they're like, "Oh, this is kind of cool."
See, the only thing I care about in motorsports is MotoGP, and that's just because I like motorcycles. Like, I still don't get Indy 500, dude. I can't. Like,
I'm
Formula
telling you,
1,
if you go
Formula 1, I can get. Like, there's that Netflix series with Formula 1 that has, like, it's really cool. Like, getting into the ego of these drivers, it's
What's
like
the name of it?
Formula 1.
no,
Oh, okay.
I know what he's talking about, and I've watched it, but for the life of me, I can't come up with the title.
I don't
right
remember,
now.
but I know it's on Netflix. I remember watching a couple of episodes. And I'm like, these drivers on F1 act exactly as I thought they would. But it's great. And I love the stupid drama that's like in their heads. Like, I gotta be number one. And like they all have this dramatic backstory of like why they deserve to win. And then like it's just emotional when they don't do as good as their best times. And I'm just like, I don't care.
So
But,
like anime.
Yeah, like anime.
Exactly.
Like fast cars go vroom is basically the entire thing of F1, and I love it. Like it's stupid, but I love it. But the only motorsport I really am into is MotoGP. Just because like I love the Grand Prix. I love seeing how masterful these guys are on motorcycles.
There
Like,
is a I don't know if
insane,
I don't know
dude.
if you've read this, but there is a manga that's currently being serialized right now called Topu GP, which
Yeah.
is about
Yeah, I read
MotoGP, and it's
Yeah, I read
really
it.
well drawn, and
Really?
the story is really
Yeah.
really good. And I'm hoping soon it gets an anime adaptation because it would be sick to watch. It's
Let
a
me
really
look
good
Look it
manga.
up. What's
I
the name
really
of it
like
again?
MotoGP.
It's called
called
Topu GP, TOPPU GP.
Top Grand Prix, right? And
Which is
it's
funny
really
because the main character is named Topu.
Yeah, his name is Topu because he's gonna be the top one day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
Whoa,
like
the art is really good.
It is really good.
and they use a lot of terminology that's like if you're into MotoGP, if you're into like riding motorcycles competitively, like when you go to the track, you go to a circuit, it's really cool like that in that aspect.
And
I
they
just-
use a lot
I
of
like
licensed stuff.
motorcycles.
Like they have like Yamaha and you know Suzuki and like all the tire manufacturers are there, and like they're using actually branded tools to work on the bikes. It's really cool.
It's so the only problem I have with Tapu GP is the fact that it's obviously licensed to just sell shit
It
about
is.
motorcycles. Like it's so obvious.
Kind of like how
But-
Bakuan was licensed to sell motorcycles.
Yeah, Bakuan was licensed to sell Kawasaki and Honda, right? They don't talk about
Wait.
just Kawasaki and
Bakuan
Honda.
was the one with the motorcycles, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the,
the
it was
girls
the,
with
the,
motorcycles.
the-
Harley Davidson.
yeah, it was
With the-
Harley
with the-
David. Jesus was literally named Harley Davidson.
Wait, with like that one blonde chick with the twin ponytails, right?
Yeah, the one who
Yes.
rides
Okay.
Ninja, like I ride. Oh god, I like motorcycles, guys. I like guns and motorcycles. If I was
America.
into Indy 500, I would be the perfect American. Oh man.
Born in the US.
So
Talk
Show,
about- oh my god, we've almost went 30 minutes talking
and Show
about
hasn't said a goddamn thing.
because he doesn't get us.
Not
doesn't
American, and I'm not straight, so I have nothing to say.
Wow.
Well, the next thing
So
I
wait,
want to
wait.
talk about,
Go
wanna-
for it.
I want to talk about freaking Animal Crossing.
Oh
on the
god.
Dude.
So-
How many nudes have you sent for bells?
Yeah, how many
I-
bells you got, man?
Wait. Before you go on, John, can I
Okay.
say I played 1 hour of this fucking game so far.
Okay,
And
oh,
it's
yeah.
like I'm playing, it's fun. It's like, oh, you're in depth. I'm like, what? So
Capitalist
apparently I need to
America.
Yeah, America. So I need to keep going. I haven't played past the first hour. So it's like
So, I've never played an Animal Crossing except for like Sans like
same.
10 minutes on my sister's Switch when New Leaf, the last game, came out. I played New Leaf for like 10 minutes.
That is a man right there. He just fucking chugged that bitch.
You know, if I had hard A, I would be chugging too, but all I have is a case of beer. So
Oh my
I'm
God, he's
sorry,
got another
Natai.
full
God,
bottle.
Jesus, Natai. It's
I'm
not a
ready
night
for this
cap for me.
podcast. I'm already tipsy, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm fucked up too. I've had 3 beers and 2 shots. I'm in there. We're getting there.
Well, on that note, I'm
Um,
gonna go get another beer. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, but Animal
Fucking
Crossing.
amateur.
though. So I've never played any Animal Crossing before,
Same.
and then I got this because I was like, I like the Switch. The Switch is
Mm.
very pretty. Okay. I have. Oh fuck. Whatever. Don't mind that.
John just dropped something in his like room.
I was like,
don't know.
look at this docking station with the Nook boys.
Oh,
right?
you got it? That's
Tommy.
cute.
Yeah, and then
cute.
but I was really drawn to the pastel colors of the Joy-Cons. These are going for like $200, by the way. These Joy-Cons alone are going for $200, and I bought this
That's
off
a
of my
bit much.
friend. I know, but they're so good looking. Look at that. They're so cool.
You're a true
So,
man of
You
culture.
know, you could probably paint those by yourself.
Oh no doubt, but they're not OG. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I got this new game because I was like, fuck it, why not? It's a new game. Like I was gonna play Doom, but I was gonna beat Doom in like a week, or 3 days anyway. And I have Doom Eternal is fun, by the way. I'll talk about that later. But Animal Crossing, I was addicted for the first week, like first 7 days of playing this game. I could not stop playing. I was like, I need to farm money. I need to pay off my debt. I need to upgrade my house.
Nuke! That son of a bitch!
I've been playing it nonstop for the last 2 weeks since it's released, and then just this week again, like starting on Saturday, I stopped playing it for a little bit because I was like, okay, I've played it for 7 days straight. I probably need a break. Like, it's probably not healthy to be playing this game for 6 to 8 hours a day. And sacrificing
I like to say
sleep.
you're talking to someone who has recently gotten back obsessed with Skyrim again and been playing it for like 10 hours a day on his days off.
God damn it, Alex.
So, but I fucking love New Horizons. Like, it's so fun. There's some aspects I hate. Like, I hate that your tools break. Apparently, that wasn't always a thing. If you get like gold
Okay.
equipment or something. But so far, I don't know. It's something about it. Like, it's just addicting to play.
So for the record, once again, like I played not a whole lot, only for like 1 hour or so. So like I already established my island as Mario, because of course.
Mori.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Mori, Mori,
So, like,
Mori, Mori, Mori.
exactly.
Show radio.
Radio. But it's like it's super chill, and like probably tomorrow I'll like boot it up again because while I was at a base, I just couldn't find the time to play it more but it's so chill, right? It's so weird. I never played an Animal Crossing game in my life, but okay, to preface this, so the Nintendo Switch has this like stupid system of like you pay 80 euros or bucks or whatever, and you get these 2 tickets, and then you get like 2 games for it. One of them was Astral Chain back at August, which is like amazing, by the way. And then
I hate Astro Chain, but go on.
fuck you, dude. It's so good.
Hey,
You know what? In 30 minutes we'll go back to Astro. But anyway, and then I had this ticket like lying around for like half a year probably, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'll use it sometimes. And then all my friends like, yo, dude, Animal Crossing is like really good. I'm like, I don't know if it's a game for me. I don't know, but it's like
it's too soft and
honestly,
cute. Like, who
yeah,
cares?
but at this point, all the money I spent on that ticket was like already made back. So I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it. So I got it and played for it, and I was like, this is cute. I'm okay with this. And it's like, but then suddenly that fucking Tom Nook is like, oh, you're in like 50,000 debt. I'm like,
Oh my god.
Tom Nook is
Okay.
like a shonen villain that won't die.
See, the thing about Animal Crossing is that you don't know why, but you're gonna get addicted to it. You know, like that first hour. Oh, come on, I need more.
exactly. It's like, yeah, I'll gather your fucking peaches. Sure, I'll do it. But it's like, it's super chill. It's super nice.
Sure, I'll go
Yeah,
200,000 bells in debt. Why not?
Yeah, that. But it's like
The American
I need to play
dream.
more. I need to play more just to like get a feel of the game because I honestly like I set up a tent. I set up a tent for like these other 2 fuckers, and I need to like pay my bills apparently. in This godforsaken island. I don't know.
I feel like Animal
least-
Crossing was originally developed to teach Japanese children how to be responsible adults.
I don't know, dude. It's just kind of fun to go digging for clams. Manila, that's my favorite flavor of clams. Hey, I caught a sea bass. It's at least a C plus. Like,
Do they
It's
still
so-
have the puns when you catch animals and shit?
yes,
Great.
they have so many puns, and it's so stupid, and it's I don't know. This game, I didn't think I'd be that into it. Like, Jessica said she was getting it too, so I was like, oh, that's another reason I should probably get this game, so I can play with Jessica. And
How do I open this fucking bottle?
what bottle?
You
Oh,
probably
second
have to be
bottle?
sober.
Oh my god, it's got a sober. Wait, isn't that one of the pori thingies? Isn't it already open? Just drink from it, dude.
Just drink from it.
Really?
Just
Does it? Can you drink from it?
No.
It is one of the pouring things. I was right. I'm sober enough to know that.
I'm not.
But if anyone wants to, Animal Crossing is a game that you can play if you want to play for like 6 to 8 hours straight, like me, and be a billionaire. Like I think I have 16 million bells left over now.
How did you do it so quickly?
I learned how to farm tarantulas.
cheated. He
No.
exploited
I know
the
how he did it. I
game.
know how he did it. He sent nudes to people because people have been getting bells in the most ridiculous
Dude,
ways.
all
Oh,
the-
yeah, dude.
Which nudes? All of them are. Dude, fuck.
No,
I sent
his
them a very
own
special
nudes.
dick pic,
IRL.
His dick pics, man. Dick pics.
Yeah, there are people
spell it
selling
out for
sexual
you.
favors for freaking bells, and it's kind of ridiculous. But no, I just exploited like learning how to farm. You can get like each trip of if you go to a new island, you can farm tarantulas, and if you have the
Wait,
30
you
set,
get to like different island? That's
Yeah,
news to me.
dude. Well, you've played for an hour, like you understand the more you play. Oh god, but.
Are you okay?
Natai, do you need a break?
No, we're gonna keep drinking and we're gonna keep going, keep on trucking, boys. But no, it's a game it's fun for people who want to know life in it, like I did for 8 hours a day and just farming money because I was like, fuck it, I have nothing else to do but farm money, and it's super easy. That's the problem with the game. It's super easy to do everything, so it makes it very easy to just like last night when I was playing it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play it for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just do random stuff. Then I look at the clock and it's been an hour, and I'm like, oh, well, shit. Like,
Oops.
I guess I'll get these peaches, and oh shit, it's been an hour, and I have a shit ton of peaches now.
like you get very lost in time doing stuff in the game, and that's a wonderful thing about it. But it's definitely something that you're not meant to play very long every day, because it is very monotonous, the stuff that you do, like when you farm islands like I did for tarantulas at night. But you're supposed to play for like maybe 30 minutes to like an hour max a day. Honestly, you don't even need that long. Like 30 minutes is fine to do all your dailies, and then you just log off. Like it's a very
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like apparently it's like a daily thing, because I know some people like quote unquote cheat by like moving the switch clock forward.
Oh yeah,
just to progress the game.
Wizard, dude, time wizards. So
exactly that.
You can exploit a bunch of stuff in the game. Time wizards is like when you just change your system clock to fast forward or go back. Like I teleported back in time one night because I fucked up and I didn't play before 10, and I had the store, so it closes at 10. So I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to buy all the cool stuff in the store today. You have a rotating shop, and I'm collecting all the shit that I can to make my house super pretty. Okay, like I have a theme in my house. My main room, my kitchen area is a tea room, very zen. Okay, very feng shui, very zen. And then I have a gym in my other room.
You sad man.
And then I have a bathroom, a dedicated full-on bathroom.
Dude, he's in quarantine like all of you.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm freaking in quarantine. I have nothing else to do. Then I have a workshop where I have tools and my motorcycle and my bicycle and scooter. Then my downstairs is a man cave that has Godzilla and a mecha that are just like
rooms do you have?
He has a mansion.
You can get 4 rooms in the first level, or in the middle level, I guess. Then you can get a basement.
Multiple levels? Oh my god.
Yeah, but it costs a shit ton of money. But it's okay because I did nothing but farm for bells for the first 7 days, so I have so much money because I have nothing else to do in fucking quarantine. But it's a very addicting game.
Animal Crossing is a great game to play in quarantine when you have nothing else to do.
Here's a fun fact. Animal Crossing has outsold Doom Eternal in the week of launch. Like these, we've all seen the memes, right?
What timeline are we in? Like, what the fuck?
So Doom and Animal Crossing had a lot of memes, a lot of crossover memes, because they came out on the exact same day.
Those are the
2 weeks
best,
ago.
by the way.
I saw Isabel drawn as Doom guy. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's very funny, but it's just because they have the same release date. And I love Doom. I love Doom 2016. I love how they rebooted the series. I like Doom 3 though. Don't shoot me. I know everyone hates Doom 3, but I liked it. Fucking Alex.
I haven't played any of them, by the way.
Oh my god, Natai.
The only Doom game I've ever played is the original.
In my defense, I'm waiting to, like, with my current wage, to like buy a really good PC and then play all of them.
Fair point. So if you don't know, Doom is like one of the, I think it's actually the first FPS game ever invented, I want to say.
What?
I think you're right.
Castle. Wait.
Not the one that just came out, the original Doom game.
The original Doom 1.
No. There was Escape from Castle Wolfenstein, which I think was before that. I might be wrong.
But they both came out in the same year, right?
Yeah. So they're both made by id. Okay, id Software, same company. They literally defined the genre of FPS as it is today. No joke.
Yeah.
All right. Props to them. A little bit of game history. But I played
Welcome
Doom
to
3.
his TED Talk.
Welcome to the John and Natai podcast.
Wait,
where I talk about.
If it's the first ever FPS, why are we only on 3?
No.
Oh, god damn it.
God damn it, show.
I don't understand.
This comes from a man who plays like a 20-year-old MMO.
I don't play. It's 15 years old.
Oh, excuse me.
And I don't play FPS.
By the way, I think I'm borderline drunk for the entertainment of...
You think? No, I know you are.
I'm getting the Asian red.
Yeah, you're getting the Asian blood now, or the Asian flesh, or whatever it's called.
Okay,
Doom.
So Doom 1 came out after Wolfenstein because it was basically a modded Wolfenstein, but the same mechanics. It's literally the OG FPS that started it all.
Right.
It started the speed running, and it started the FPS genre. Okay, So Doom 1 and 2 come out. They're apparently good. 64 came out and apparently it was bad. I never played 64. Like I said, I've never played the Doom 1 or 2 until I played my first Doom game, which was Doom 3, which apparently everyone hated because, again, I've never played any other Doom games, and they're apparently super fast paced. Hence why people started speedrunning them, and it started the whole speedrun culture. Yeah. It jump-started the speedrun culture. It jump-started the FPS culture. So it created something beautiful. I love FPS games. Like, I used to play in tournaments for Counter-Strike, right?
God bless Titanfall 2.
God bless Titanfall 1. God bless Titanfall 2. God damn it, I love Apex to death, but I wish there was a Titanfall 3 coming in the works. Come on,
please.
Respawn. I need more Titanfall. But I played Doom 3. Apparently, it's a lot slower paced. But I liked it because it reminded me, it's very survival horror, which is what I really like. Like, I love Dead Space. I love the Dead Space franchise. RAP to Visceral. I'll never forgive EA for killing your studio. But goddamn, Dead Space.
EA
Dead
is like
Space
Studio
3.
Dean. They kill everything they acquire.
Dead Space 3 was so bad. I hated it.
That's not fair, Alex.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Dead Space 3. I should get that.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But if you do, we can play co-op.
Ooh, let's do it.
I'll do it. We'll stream it.
He won't play He won't play Dead by Daylight with you.
Even though Dead Space 3 is like the worst one of the trilogy, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I have like an hour in each.
Oh my god. You need to do a playthrough of Dead Space 1 while I back coach you.
I have
Like-
commitment issues. I always
That's
start it and I
way
never
you do
finish.
it, though. It's so fun. Do it
It
on
is
a
so much
stream.
fun. I just like stop playing it and then I just forget to get back to it and then I never get back.
And then he plays Guild Wars.
And then
Yeah.
Dead Space 1, Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2 is my absolute favorite. It was the first game I ever platinumed on a console.
Really?
I loved it that much. Okay, that I was like, I'm gonna replay this until I get every trophy. And I did it. It was the best. What, Alex? What?
Just you a sad, sad man.
It opened my eyes to the possibilities of video gaming. Like, I've ascended beyond you, mortal men who don't play games. You're not a real gamer.
Alex,
You are right about
co-host.
that.
Wait. Alex is the co-host. Don't fuck with it.
But going back to Doom, because you keep sidetracking, side railroading. What's the word?
And it's not
I don't know.
railroading. Railroading is not
I
what
keep
you
getting
want here.
sidetracked. I keep getting, but Doom 3 was my favorite. So then when Doom 2016 came out, I was like, I don't know. Now that I've played Doom 3, and then I went back and replayed Doom 1 and 2, which were I was like, this is so stupid, but I love it. Like, it's so stupid, but I love it. I don't understand how this game works, but it's super fun, action-packed, and it's just like
Wait. So, like, for the record, because also I haven't played any of the Doom games. I'm like, I want to play them someday, like the new ones.
Okay.
But what was Doom 3 different from like 1 and 2?
So
It
1
wasn't
and 2
anywhere near
was-
as fast paced.
It was 2D, first of all, and it's old because it's from like the freaking 80s or 90s. It's old.
Doom
but
3?
No. Doom 1 and 2. Doom 1 and 2 are from like the 80s, and then Doom 3 or Doom 64, which was the final one in the storyline, happened in the 90s, late 90s. And that was on, 64, Nintendo 64. And I never played that one, and I'm still not going to play it. But Doom 3 came out in the mid 2000s, and I remember playing it on the original Xbox. I believe it came out on original Xbox, and I was at my cousin's house. And it was super fun. I liked it. I liked how creepy it was. I loved all the demons. Loved how dark it was.
Just a casual burp and move on.
But after Doom 3, I played 1 and 2, and at first I didn't like them because I was like, oh, gross 2D graphics. But as I've aged, I've realized like how good of a game they are. Like, it's fast paced, it's fun, and it's just fun, dude.
Yeah.
Like, if you're ever reminiscent of like the arcade cabinet days back in the fucking 80s and the late 90s or early 90s, that's what Doom 1 and 2 is like. It's just like the old days, it's nostalgia. But and then Doom 2016 came out, and I remember looking at it and I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for a reboot. Coming from a timeline right now, we're in an age where everything gets rebooted. Like Jurassic Park's been rebooted, Doom's getting rebooted. Or
The
has
funny
been
thing about Doom
rebooted.
2016 is it came out either shortly before or shortly after the live-action Doom movie, which was terrible.
So
Was
the
it shortly after?
Okay, fun fact: the first Doom movie was actually one of the first video game franchises that actually redeemed their money back, I believe.
Got
because they
their
Really?
money back, but it got it almost solely because of its name.
Yeah, it only got it solely because of its name, and plus The Rock was in it. And it was a terrible movie. Go ahead, Natai, you have something to say?
No, it's like to a different topic. So like finish what you have to say because like
Okay.
I have this thought in my head. So keep going.
So, back in the wintertime, like 4 months ago, I finally got Doom 2016, the remake. And let me tell you, boy, I fucking loved it. They brought back
I'm sure
the old
the
Doom.
soundtrack is amazing.
The Mick Gordon is a fucking god. Okay. BFG Division is my fucking workout song. I'm like, oh yeah, BF Division, let's go. Let's go. Okay, like I fucking love Doom 2016 remake, and Eternal just came out 2 weeks ago with Animal Crossing, and I bought both. But I played Animal Crossing for the first week because I was just addicted. Like I've never played one before. I'm like, I've got to get these bells. I've got to keep playing.
So you mentioned about how Doom and Animal Crossing came out on the same day. Something
Yeah,
else that's
right.
going to happen relatively soon, probably next year, maybe, is that at least currently the plan is for The Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 to come out on the same day, and that's going to be the first time in history that that two movies have come out with the same leading actor in it. I
It's not
wonder
gonna
if we're
happen,
going to
dude.
see. I wonder if
So,
we're going to see a lot of crossover memes.
let me finish my thought about Doom. I got Doom Eternal and I just played it this weekend, and it's fucking phenomenal. It's just as good as Doom 2016. I think it's better. They improved the combat
Really?
flow. They improved Doom 2016. The first half of the game, honestly, I thought was very slow and dragging. I didn't really like it, but the second
Okay.
half is fucking excellent. Like, par for the course, right? But Doom Eternal, they were like, all right, so people complained about that. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make the first half the part where you get all your fucking guns. And then the second half, we're just gonna combat check you every single fucking day. And I was like, oh my god, this is so hard, but it's so fun. It's a lot
like-
tougher, and it's a lot more fast paced, and they make the combat so fucking fluid. I love it so much. It's honestly entering my top 10 of games now. Honestly,
Wow.
Doom Eternal Mechanics is entering top 10 of my fucking favorite games of all time.
It's
I have
an
this
elite
question.
list.
Okay.
I have this question because I
Yeah.
just like thought about it. Also, by the way, it's like this is one of these 1 a.m. Nitai thoughts. Okay, so bear
Okay.
with me.
Okay.
Bear with me. Does the game need to be fun in order for it to be a compelling experience for you to like think about later on?
I mean, I think the ultimate goal of all games should be that, is it fun? Like, it doesn't matter the type of game that you play. At the end of the day, if you have fun playing this game, it's done its job, right?
Right.
Like, the job of a game is to convey its story or whatever the fuck it wants to convey to you as a player, as a consumer, and that you have fun playing it. If you don't have
Okay.
fun playing a game, then it hasn't done its fucking job properly.
Because here's the thing. So like a few weeks ago, I was like browsing Steam, and one of the games that were on my wish list was Spec Ops: The Line. Now,
Okay.
if you've played the game, you know where I'm going with this. If you
Yeah.
haven't, this game is pretty, I guess, generic in terms
Yep.
of its mechanics. Like, you know, it's like cover-based shooter. You're going to cover and you pop and shoot the bad guys, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's this like very strange narrative of how you're like the main character is like supposedly the hero, but is like the longer you go into the game, the more it's like more delves into the psyche of the character and more how he is kind of insane, really.
Yeah.
But when I look back on the game, I'm really satisfied with the time I had with it, right? But
Yeah.
it wasn't a fun game to play, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what do you think about that? Because I feel like some games, like, for instance, so I talk about Spec Ops: The Line, which is it isn't a fun game to play, but it's like a really satisfying experience. And more than that, like a game I played a few years back called This War of Mine is also not really a fun game to play, but it is like compelling and satisfying. So it's like, what do you feel about that? If you have like any experience in that, I guess.
So I played Spec Ops on my first Spec Ops game was, I don't remember what it was called, but it was on PS1, the original PS1. And
Okay.
I remember spending a lot of hours in it, and I fucking hated it, but I loved it. You know, Tom Clancy games are just kind of like that, where Tom Clancy is an author, if no one knows.
Was an
He doesn't
author.
just he was an author.
He's
Rest in
dead
peace.
now.
Yeah, he's dead now, but he was an author that did a lot of military stuff, and he has a lot of games based on him. Like I believe Rainbow Six Siege is super popular right now.
Yep.
I remember when it first came out, no one really cared that much about it, but it's still super popular right now, which is good.
Mhm.
It's got a cult following. I think it's a pretty decent game.
Splinter Cell is another one.
I
that he did.
fucking love Splinter Cell too. That was on PlayStation 1 as well.
Splinter Cell is really good.
I like how the thing I love about Tom Clancy games is he'll write a novel based on a concept, and then a video game studio will take that concept and say, how can we convolute this so much that it actually makes a video game?
I think Tom Clancy books are okay. Honestly, when it comes to military books, I like ones based on real things, like Operation Red Wing. That book that had a movie that came out about it. The guys who dropped in Afghan and then had the choice of killing the that farmer guy. I don't remember what it was called, but that was based on the book Operation Red Wing, and I remember reading that, and it really highlights the details of like how covert ops works and how crazy it is.
Right.
You know, like the calls that you have to make. It's fucking crazy, and I think that at least when it translates to video games, as long as you enjoy playing the game, it should be fine. But if you enjoyed the experience too, because you know it's not just enjoying playing the game. You know, a game can have shitty mechanics, it can have shitty story, but if you overall left it with a positive experience, it's fine. It did its job. You know, games, as much as they've evolved from like fucking 2D Pong to shooters and to what we have now with amazing graphics and amazing stories, it's about the experience, and everyone experiences things differently. Like there could be a game that I fucking love that you hate. There could be a game that you hate that I fucking think is the best game in the world. It's about your experience and what you take away from it.
You can say the same thing about like all media, really.
Yeah,
anime,
all media
movies, books.
All media for our consumption is about how much you enjoy it, right? What you take away from it.
But what if you like not necessarily enjoy, but what it like, because Spec Ops specifically, it's a really dark and grim game, right?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, like I don't want to spoil it, because like the journey of the main character is like delving more and more into his psyche and how pretty much he is like really fucked up inside.
Basically, like
and like in the mechanics. Yeah, and in the mechanics, it doesn't translate to a fun experience. It translates though into a compelling experience. But did you end up like playing a game where you felt like, I don't know if I'm enjoying this, but it is like enlightening or like thought-provoking or whatever, right? That's like my question.
That makes me think of Doki Doki Literature Club. Like as a game, it's honestly not amazing. It doesn't do anything impressive.
It's a visual novel.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's a visual novel, but it's a game regardless. I believe visual novels are like games. Yeah. You have options, there's choices.
But there's not a lot of, my point is there's not a lot of complex mechanics that go in involved in playing the game.
To pick your own adventure, right? Which is a type of game that we had in the early 90s, quite a lot of. And honestly, it wasn't compelling, and the stuff that it didn't really blow my mind, but overall, I liked the message and I liked the journey. So I think
the message, don't hang yourself.
What is the message?
The message
is Monica is best girl.
Yeah, Monica
is
best girl.
Yeah,
no.
Monica, the message of Doki Doki Literature Club is Monica is best girl, and if you don't believe me, she will fucking delete your ass.
Well, I'm still here, bitch.
Wait, no, did you play it?
By the way,
yeah.
All of us here have played Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way,
we are Doki Doki Literature Club.
just wanted to say this one thing: Yuri is best girl until the shitty stuff happens.
See, Alex has been brainwashed to believe that Monica is best girl, like the game intended, right? The entire game has intended to brainwash you. Yeah, oh, he's gonna
What a
leave.
flap.
He's
Bye.
leaving.
Good riddance.
Alex just left because we offended Monica.
Oh, he's gonna bring
But
back.
I totally agree with you. Like, playing the game, there's a whole slog of all this like happy-go-lucky slice of life bullshit. Like, where's the
Exactly.
blood? Where's the
Yeah.
murder? Where's the suffering? I was bored. But once
Alex,
we
I
got
can't
to
believe
the,
you
once we
bought a
got to the
plushie
hard
of that.
shit, then it got good. But majority of it was pretty boring.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
The majority of it is boring, but when it gets into the like the slaughter, then it gets
Give me
interesting.
The
Yeah,
blood.
and I normally hate torture, right? I'm like, no, the good guy needs
Why?
to win.
It's why, well, that's why you hate ReZero, because you don't like the torture. Poor
Wait,
Jesus.
you hate ReZero? Don't you like seeing good people? Wait, but he wasn't even a good person.
No, he's not.
I hate the fact that we have to follow Subaru around about ReZero.
That's the
Okay,
Wait,
Wait,
Beauty of
he's not
ReZero.
Subaru.
I
Is
hate
that
doormat.
such
Who
an
would you prefer?
unlikable character,
Who would you
and
prefer to
get
follow around, Felix?
You get to see
Actually.
him get
Yeah,
hurt.
actually, that'd be a good anime.
I just don't
Don't
like
you
doormat
dare.
Kun. But that's how I feel about video games. Like, as long as you walk away with a positive experience where either you liked playing the game or you liked the mechanics or you liked just the story or what it made you feel afterward. It could be a terrible fucking game with terrible mechanics, but you liked how the game ended or you liked the story, whatever. It could be anything. Then the game has done its job. It has entertained you.
I can
You
get
know.
behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't buy a lot of games for a very specific reason. That's because I don't know if I'll enjoy this game. Like, I was very hesitant to buy Doom 2016 because I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for a reboot. Like, I hate this reboot culture, but I've realized, like, well, there's a reason it got rebooted. It's because it's a fucking great game series. And
Yeah.
id Software did a fucking phenomenal job recapturing that in Doom 2016 and even better with Doom Eternal. So if you guys are bored, you want to play a fast-paced FPS, go play some Doom Eternal. If you guys just want to chill out and fucking
Play
just
Animal Crossing.
play Animal Crossing. It's a super chill game. Like, there's no
Or-
pressure.
Or
there's
play
no...
Guild Wars with Show.
Or you can play Dead by Daylight with me. Add me on Steam. I'm boring.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Never played Dead by Daylight with you. First of all,
Play
the
with
servers,
me. Play
the
with
servers
me.
are shitty. Oh my god. I totally
Huh?
get the pallets and they still hit me. I don't get that.
Yeah, I know. It's a shitty game. That's why I love
What the
it.
fuck? What?
No, he likes it because it's
can't.
easy for him to exploit certain things. That's why he asked me every time the player levels reset. He asked me to join him because I bring the average level of the killer down by being in
And
his
then we
party.
can bully the killer.
I know, and that's the
I
only
make them disconnect.
that's the only reason you keep inviting us to play.
Yeah.
Because you want to play with newbie
I want to
killers.
play with. I'm at the highest rank right now. I need you guys at the lowest rank so that I can face the newbie killer.
No.
I did want to
Show. Wait. Show. I'm halfway drunk and I'm still not convinced I should buy this shitty game.
No.
Don't you want to get
Before-
murdered?
no.
In the
Don't listen to
forest
Show.
at
Show.
night?
shut
Nope.
up. This
It's
game.
the best thing. It's the best murder simulator.
This
2020.
game is so much. So normally I would love a game like Dead by Daylight because there is a lot of fucking theory crafting involved. Okay, there are meta builds because you can level up your survivors and they have different perks. I fucking love, because I'm a fucking nerd, I love theory crafting. Right?
Of
I
course.
fucking love theory crafting. But there's metas in the game, and basically everyone's a nerd in the game, and they're like, oh, you got to run this build to fucking be good.
Show.
And everyone knows
Show.
this.
No.
Show knows this.
I'm at the highest ranks, and there's no consistent build. We all run random shit.
No, but there's stuff that's.
And then there's
There's
me.
There's a build you're supposed to run, but no one runs that.
Wait,
And then there's me who
built
plays
this
the same
stupid game?
survivor all the time with the same perks, and I don't change a
Oh my
damn
God.
thing.
You're
So-
that bitch.
I think it's fun as a game because I honestly I love survival horror. I love horror in general. So I would love Dead by Daylight, but the fact of the matter is everyone fucking runs what's OP and what's the meta, and I fucking hate that. I hate the fact
Wait,
that I can't.
How many hours do you have on this game? How
Like
do you
4
know what people
hours.
run? How many?
I
4?
read the subreddit, okay?
You read the subreddit. You don't play it for yourself. People, killers at low rank don't run anything. They don't run
Yeah.
any meta. If
But
you
what's
played
the-
the game, you would know
What's
this.
the point of playing this game as a low tier when you play with me?
I can play with your perks. I'll match your build, girl.
Overall, it's a shitty game to die. Don't fucking play it, dude.
No, it's so
I'm not
good.
buying it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good. Fucking okay.
So I before we move on, I did want to say a really good example of the dichotomy you were talking about earlier is the Mass Effect series.
Okay.
About
Okay.
how a game can have like good mechanics and a good story and still be bad, or can have a good story and bad mechanics and be bad.
See,
Like
what's funny
Mass
is
Effect,
I-
Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 were really good games, at least in my opinion. And then you got to
Okay.
Andromeda, and that was horseshit.
So
I
I've
never bother with Andromeda, by the way.
I've never played a Mass Effect game. I have a friend who loves the series, and he tells me all about it. And I remember watching him play number 1 and 2. I didn't watch him play 3 because at this point we've kind of drifted off in our friendship, But I know that everyone
Drama.
apparently universally hated 3 because the ending was bullshit because it didn't matter what you did.
Originally, yes, they had
Pretty much.
Since the game has launched, they actually went back and as part of some DLC, they changed the ending a little bit, so where the
But
choices
still,
you make a difference.
Even after the DLC, it was pretty bullshit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean the ending could have been better, but mechanics wise, all 3 games have really good mechanics.
So I tried playing Mass Effect 2 for a little bit when I was at my friend's house. I just don't like it, dude. I just don't.
And that's fine.
Mechanically or story wise?
Mechanically, I didn't like
Okay.
the combat. I was like, it's whatever.
It's pretty vanilla. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
Well, if he only
but-
played 2, he probably doesn't have a huge grasp on like the lore of Mass Effect.
No, I don't have and I understand that the entire series is about the lore, and apparently number 3 takes a shit on itself, and then Andromeda, it just basically tries to reboot 3 or some shit. I don't know.
Here's the thing.
Kind
Here's
of.
the thing. Like number 3 is like amazing, and then you
Okay.
get like to last 5% of the campaign, and then that's the point where it pretty much
Mass
shits
Effect
itself.
Mass Effect 3
Ah.
is like the Darling in the Franks of fucking,
no.
of the fucking series.
I don't know about that. I haven't even bothered watching
Just
the first 5 episodes.
takes his shit. It
So
just
all I'm
takes his
hearing
shit
is that
halfway
it's
through.
mediocre at best, and then at the end it gets even worse than mediocre.
That sounds about right.
That sounds about right. Oh God, Trigger.
But
How
I
far
love
are you fallen?
I love the first
Indeed.
the first 2 Mass Effect games, and I agree that story wise the third entry was very mediocre, but then Andromeda just took the mediocrity and just drove that off a cliff.
Here's the
See-
thing, though. Like mechanically, Mass
Okay.
Effect 3 was like really solid. It gave you just a bit more options. It gave you all of the mechanics you grew to know and love in 2. But the entirety of the game, I think, is like really solid. But then like really just the back end of like the last 10 minutes are just a bit, I don't know if to say out there, but just it doesn't feel right.
The way I describe it to people is the climax doesn't actually feel earned. It feels like
Yes.
It feels like they actually didn't have an idea for how to end Commander Shepard's story, and so they just said,
Yeah.
"Why don't we just have it end and then that's it? There is no epilogue. It's just that's it."
And that's the shitty thing, is that they never gave us like a really good definitive ending. It's like just an experience all throughout.
I do feel like that from the beginning, assuming it was always going to be a trilogy, which I don't think is something you can assume. I think the idea was to always. I feel like the idea was always to have Commander Shepard die at the end.
Spoilers.
It's so weird.
Fucking
It's so weird.
spoilers.
Okay, but you don't know
it's not
that.
even. That's the thing. It's not really even spoilers because it doesn't have to be the ending. But when you look back at the production side of like the whole project, the time that was spent between Mass Effect 2 and 3 is not that long, which is a bit concerning.
Yeah, there was a bigger gap in production
Yeah.
time between 1 and 2 than there was in 2 and 3.
Exactly. And
Okay.
that's sort of when you look at like interviews and like the things that I've said, it seems a bit rushed, which is really concerning because there's like the end of the trilogy.
Well, let me just talk
Eh?
about BioWare.
Yeah,
Let's
to be
talk about
yeah,
BioWare.
yeah, to be
for
fair,
fun.
Let's talk
BioWare.
about BioWare.
So, I'm so sorry that you have had zero opportunity to really talk on this
I know.
Natai and John podcast. But this
Honey,
is
I'm
our
still
show.
half asleep.
But let me talk about BioWare. I purchased their latest game, which was supposed to be like the next best loot and shoot next to Destiny 1,
Which one?
was the fucking robots one where you're Iron Man.
Anthem?
Anthem.
Oh,
The
God.
fuck,
That
bro?
game, dude. That game is like, nope.
I bought Anthem and I bought the fucking deluxe package because I was like,
Wait. Let me stop you right there. Are we going to talk about Anthem?
we're gonna talk a little bit about Anthem.
Okay, I'm going to take a piss real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Fucking BioWare, how far you have fallen, like the rest of our studios, right?
Do you know why BioWare has fallen? Because they got fucking acquired by E EA.
You know what? Everyone blames EA as the big bad, but after a little research, honestly, EA, yeah, they're still the big bad. I agree. They do a lot of shitty things, a lot of shady things about sell, because that's what EA is about as a publisher. But there's still some creative directive going on. Like Titanfall 2 is a commercial flop, right? And I fucking adored the Titanfall series. I love Respawn, bless them. I still love
It was
Titanfall
more
1,
than just a flop
2.
though, didn't it? Like, hasn't it nearly bankrupted a part of EA?
Yeah,
Like an EA subsidiary?
and the reason for that is because there's a lot of turmoil because they launched the game too early. They didn't want to push it back, and that's where they first fucked up. You know, the game was incomplete. It launched with an incomplete campaign. Like, then they had this roadmap where they were going to fix everything, and then halfway through that, they lost nearly all of their player base. And I feel so bad for that because Anthem
It's a big oof.
Anthem honestly had a way to make it really good, and it fucked it all up. The story, first of all, unlike most BioWare things, the story of Anthem is the worst part of it. The mechanics, honestly, are okay, I guess. Like, I hated the fact that they were like, oh, you can pick any suit that you want, and then you can make it however you want. But then when you get to endgame, it's like, oh, guess what? You can't play any suit that you want with any equipment you want. You have to run the meta builds. Fucking hated that. Worst thing in the world.
Wait, did you actually pay for that game?
Yeah, I paid for it. Is it free now or some shit?
I don't know. I never bothered because the moment that game came out, I saw the videos. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to bother with it because nope.
One thing I love about video games is when they have an end game meta. I love games that let you play out of meta, and they promised in Anthem that you could play out of meta, and you can't. Honestly, when I played it for the first 2 months, month and a half before I fucking dropped the game, I got to endgame, and the end game was, oh, guess what? If you don't run meta builds, you can't fucking play this game. And I was like, what? What do you mean I can't play fucking how I want? You know, a game is about BioWare is a company about playing how you want, and it fucks it all up in Anthem. And I get that the production was rushed. I get that their developers were under constraint, but it was just so they weren't being transparent anymore. They couldn't deliver on promises, and the game died out within literally the first month of it being launched, just like Destiny 2, quite honestly, because they couldn't fix what was really everyone's complaint, which was loot. Loot was the worst. Your end game is about grinding loot. How could you fuck that up?
Loot has become like the worst part of gaming in like the 2010s and onward.
pretty
No.
much.
So
But
I disagree with that because
Okay.
I loved Destiny 1 and I absolutely adored Destiny 2 for the first 3 months that I played the game.
and also Borderlands does loot really well, but that's a single player
Yeah.
game. So just saying.
Well,
Well, when I say
Borderlands
loot,
3
I'm
kinda fucked up in
specifically
the
I
beginning.
specifically
It's
refer
better
to
now,
loot
but-
boxes. Loot boxes are terrible.
Yeah,
That's in
it
every
depends.
game. No one was gonna say
that's
you're
the problem. It's
I
in
don't-
every game now, but it didn't used to be. It's in games that it
don't
has no
mind-
business being in.
I don't mind loot boxes if it's cosmetics and stuff that I can collect.
But if
Like,
if you're doing it with real world currency, it's gambling.
No, see, I'm fine with CS skins. CS:GO skins, I'm 100% fine with because I don't need that skin to be better. It's just fun to have. Okay.
Yeah.
And in
I can get behind that.
Overwatch, I love the skins. I love all the event skins. I love how much
Yeah.
thought they put into that. I don't really care that if I don't get an exclusive skin, like, oh, I'm salty about it. I'm like, oh, dang it, I don't have that skin. But the fact that I can get event skins while playing the game like normal is 100% fine. Apex does the same thing where they have legendary skins that I'm like, if I want to pay for it, I can get it. That's fine. I don't have to get it. And the fact that they have the whole like respawn, like once you get to level 100, you go back to level 1, and just like Overwatch does, that is fine. That is 100% fucking fine. Okay? What I don't like is how I can't get it after the fact. I don't like it when developers are like, you know what? We'll put a seasonal skin or an event skin in here, and you can't get it again until the event rolls around. I fucking hate that.
Oh, I love that.
Or they're also
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Because when you have the skin, you're like, there's no way you're ever gonna get that skin again.
Well,
That's
I mean,
bullshit. No.
he's
Bragging
right about
about
that
other
because there
people's
are some
faces.
times where it's literally a once in a lifetime kind of thing where
Oh,
that never
yeah.
comes back around again. So if you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah, exactly.
But like John, when you're talking about like how the game like evolves to the way you play, right, or rather adapts to the way you play, right? That's like also an interesting topic because like, I know you play a lot of Civilization, right? It's like when
He
you
gets a
get
lot
to
of
the
people to
end
rage
game-
quit on Civ. I know that.
Exactly. So when you get to the end game, like whatever play session you're playing, do you feel like you are like cornering to a specific game style, or like does the game adapt to your specific game style?
There
You know
is
what
no
I mean?
end game with him. He just goes in and just bullies
Let the
everyone
man
into
answer,
submission.
Alex. Let the man answer.
Yeah, you have to choose what playstyle you want to have early in the game because you can't
Okay.
switch playstyles late. It's too
Yeah.
late. Civilization
So-
is all about a snowball effect. So if
Yeah.
you don't get your play style snowballing in the early game, you're never gonna get the rewards in the late game.
I
you have to
equate
choose soon.
Civilization to playing chess with about 50 extra pieces on the board.
Honey, well, a lot more pieces.
So
But you
my
get my
Even when
point.
you're
problem.
playing against the PC, though.
Well, why would
It's
you play
easier. It's
against
much
PCs?
easier against the PC.
Why would you play against bots, dude?
Actually,
I know.
honestly,
For the record, I
honestly,
never
Ty-
played against. I never played Civilization, so it's like new territory.
against the PC, you can change your playstyle because the main problem with with AI is that they're gonna kill you in the early game. So as long as
Okay.
as long as you survive the early game, then you can go for any victory type. But if you're against real people that like are not potatoes, then you need to choose a victory type early, or else you're not gonna win the game.
You say
Okay,
that about
gotcha.
playing against the AI until you get to the late stage and Gandhi fucking nukes you from orbit.
Yeah, you
Fucking
can't play against
mean.
Gandhi. We banned Gandhi in all our games. He's too
So-
much.
With RTS games, I love RTS as well. Like I played the shit out of StarCraft 1 and 2.
Shocking.
Right? Right? An Asian guy
An
liking
Asian
the
guy
full
loving
RTS.
StarCraft. Go fucking figure.
I fucking adore RTS games, but Civ is one of the games I don't like playing RTS with real players because of like Sho said, you can't switch meta. Like at least in StarCraft 1 and 2, you can switch your build order for the next battle, for the next like instance that you're gonna be fucking microing the shit out of to win in your tournament. And that's why I got to fucking Master League, motherfucker. Okay. Like I played until I got to the nipping at the buds of the fucking professional league. Okay. I took that shit very seriously back in the day. And I like RTSs that leave me options. Like if I call the wrong meta in my first or second battle, I can still recover. It's still a uphill battle, but in Civ, you can't do that. Okay, you fuck up, you're like, oh, time to
Yeah.
just take it, just lay down.
You're
And
just
take
like no point in playing anymore.
it.
You
Yeah,
might just
exactly. You
But-
just
log
rage
for the
quit.
next 5 hours.
You know what's the crazy thing is, like, let me take you a while back. All right, so
Okay, here we
who
go.
still remembers Age of Mythology?
Oh my
I
god.
never played that.
Natai,
I
you're
know,
the
I've
youngest person on this podcast, and even I remember that.
Exactly. So that game I used to like play more than I would like to admit of, and I absolutely adore that game. And for me, RTSs were always like real-time strategies. Were always like these sort of semi-chill games that are just like, okay, I guess I'll build this base, and I guess I'll just build this like base at the other side of my map, and I'll conquer it, and whatever. I'll build this like small civilization, right?
Okay.
And then suddenly, when I like, reach that like threshold, when like, oh no, StarCraft is like this RTS game, but it's like really intense.
Yeah, it
And
is.
just
You gotta pick the meta.
I couldn't wrap my hand around that.
Zerg Rush!
Exactly. It's like, when did you guys like get to the point where like, oh no, this isn't just a chill game. This is like really intense.
I played StarCraft once. I got Zerg Rush. I have never played it since.
Oh man, you need to play StarCraft. StarCraft 1 is free, by the way. If anyone else,
I
is
never
listening.
played StarCraft, by the way, just for the record.
So, StarCraft is all about thinking how your opponent thinks. Like scouting is very important in the game because you need to
Okay.
first learn who the fuck you're playing against. If you're playing, like, I play Protoss all the time. I fucking love the Protoss. They're my clan. Like,
They're like the
Taro
human
Madun.
race, right?
Yeah, they're the what?
They're the human race, right?
No, that's Terran.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
It's Terran, Zerg, and Protoss. Protoss is the alien race, and I just love like Legacy of the Void. I love the expansion. I love the trailer.
Okay.
To be honest, all the StarCraft campaigns I fucking adore. I've replayed them multiple times, but the game is all about intelligence and outplaying your opponent. All right.
Okay.
As an RTS, it's not for the casual player. Like, you can't just build whatever. There's a build order. There's metas you need to run, or just play styles you need to run. Like, you can be offensive or you can be defensive, but overall, there's ways to counter. You have units that you build that counter other units, so you need to know how to fucking play. It is not very noob friendly. And as I like when I first played StarCraft 2, I actually got ranked at silver. I wasn't bronze like everyone else. I got ranked at silver because I played StarCraft 2 or StarCraft 1 and Brood War so much that they ranked me at silver, and I fought my way through Diamond to get to Master League. Okay. And I was only there for like 2 days.
But at least you got to the summit, man. You got to see the
I
view from
did.
the top.
I did. And well, that's not even the summit. The summit is Grandmaster. But the game is all about learning how your opponents play and countering them and being able, like, Micro in number 1, Micro was more prominent, like learning how to play your units properly. Number 2, they introduced like skills and stuff. So then you had to actually micro, but they were more about like learning your skills and your cooldowns. And it's been a balancing act since. Counter-Strike isn't very balanced, or not Counter-Strike. StarCraft isn't very
Counter-Strike?
balanced. No, because Counter-Strike was my first dive into like actual playing professional league stuff. But
Okay.
StarCraft is more than that. It's a very big balancing act. And that's why it's not very noob friendly, because if you don't know meta builds, if you don't know the counter strats, then you're going to be pretty fucked when you're playing.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's why online play is pretty bad. But I recommend StarCraft 1 and 2 for the campaign alone. The story is so good. Like when you're playing campaign, you don't have to worry about, oh, I need to run this meta build. I know what I need to build. Like I know what my counters are. It's like, just build how you want and see if
Yeah, that takes me back to like Warcraft 3, because that campaign was so good. And also with the Frozen Throne expansion, it's just really solid single player like campaign, which takes you through this like fascinating story and you progress through it and just explore more of this like world and story, which personally for me, that's like my go-to, just a single player experience that like feels like it feels a satisfying story, right? You know?
Yeah. And it's crazy to me to think like just 5 years ago, single player was being like fucking just thrown out the window. No one wanted to play single
Yep.
player anymore.
Exactly.
And I love and I adore single player games because I want to play how I want. I don't want to just always be competing. You know, I hate skill-based matchmaking. Like I play Modern Warfare now and they have skill-based matchmaking and I hate it because it's like I can't just fucking play how I want.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna always end up with people who try hard, who are trying to get into the next elo. And that's what I hated about Destiny 2 with Trials. It's all just tryhards, it's all elo. And it's so bad.
The problem with playing Call of Duty though is eventually, no matter how good you are, you're going to be called gay.
The Call of Duty stuff is just whatever. You know, I've grown past that. Since Modern Warfare 2, I've learned how to trash speak, you know. Like since Halo,
I just no
all that.
My point though is that shows you that the Call of Duty like player base skews way young, because that's the worst thing they can think of to say about you.
See, I remember I was doing a LAN party. We were playing Halo ODST, I want to say. It might have been Halo 3.
Which is like 30 years ago.
Which Halo it was. Yeah, it was a long time ago. But I remember there was this kid. There's like maybe a 14-year-old kid who was like trash talking us, you know, saying he fucked our mom, like normal 14-year-old lobbies do. And I just went off of this whole, well, you know what? I fucked your dad and he loved it. You know,
and then it's like you probably couldn't see it, but the eyes probably glazed over. Like, what do I say now? I have no comeback for this.
My dad's not gay. I'm like, well, he liked it when my balls were in his mouth, and I made him our exactly, and I made him our bitch while we were playing PvP, and then he became part of our party because we're ramming him so hard, and he was revering me and my friend's skills in Halo, like. It's a unique thing playing on online PvP, and occasionally I like it. You know, I still like playing Apex, but I still
Apex is good.
Yeah, Apex is good, but honestly, after playing Doom Eternal and playing like Titanfall 2, I'm like, God, this movement is so slow. Like,
Titanfall 2 is like the peak of single player movement. That's how I feel about that game.
Honestly,
it's so good.
Like, video games are so weird because there should have been this decline in single player, but now that I've gotten older and I've played all these multiplayer games, like I've played all the BR games, you know, I played Blackout for Call of Duty, I played Fortnite, I've played Apex, I've played PUBG, and I've played all these multiplayer games, Battle Royales, I've played fucking League of Legends. I hate all of that, except Apex. Apex is the only one I'll still like because I love the shooting mechanics in it because it's Titanfall. But
yeah, pretty much.
I hate every other BR. I hate every other multiplayer game. I'm like, fuck, man. Bring back single player games.
Bring back
people if it's single player. How can you teabag them?
Bring back single player campaigns with great stories. That's what I miss. Like I miss having great single player stories.
I mean, honestly, like I never played like a virtual game, but from what
I feel like there's a big but that's gonna come here right now.
It's a big but. But from the videos I have seen about Half-Life Alyx, which is like this VR experience about Half-Life, which is to some extent Half-Life 3, it's like pretty bonkers in the best way possible. So I am curious, but I know I'll never get to play it for like the next 5 years or so. Let's be honest.
VR is an interesting concept. I mean, like, it works. I think there's still a lot of stuff they got to do to get it there, quote unquote.
Exactly.
But I think they're on the right track. I don't think it'll be there until you make things like I forget what they call it, like the infinite track thing, where you can, it's like a treadmill that you can walk on that changes direction.
Holodeck.
Yeah, well, yes, the holodeck from Star Trek would be great, but they have that, I forget what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like the treadmill that changes direction. Yeah,
the Omni track.
Yeah, that. I think until that comes down in price, I think now it's like what, $7,000 or $8,000 or more. Just for that. I think when that comes down, you're actually going to see VR actually take off into what, you know, its true capabilities.
Nah, dude. Until we invent full dive gear, I don't honestly think VR will take off. Like it. Honestly,
That's not
VR
even VR at that point. That's just like AR, augmented reality.
Yeah, like going into full dive is the next like step, right? Like VR has come a long way. Chasing
Someone watched
VR
more
since, like, the
insane than they
90s.
would like to admit.
Yes, someone here.
Someone's been 16.5 all the time.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, no.
But
I can't.
we've been chasing full since like the 90s. Okay, we've been chasing VR for a very long time with the Game Boy Gear.
Yep.
If anyone remembers
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And how
Virtual
shitty that
Boy.
And the
was.
Virtual Boy. I remember the
Virtual
Virtual Boy.
Boy.
I actually had one of those for a while, and you would use that for like an hour, and then you pull your face out of it, and everything would be red. You would see red everywhere.
We've been trying to get into the full dive for a very long time, since even before the Matrix. And honestly, I hope we get to the point where we can do cerebral uploads, like full dive, so that way we can be stuck in video games.
I think one day we will get there, but I don't think it's going to be within any of our lifetimes. I think it's going to be sometime. I'm assuming with the way that we're learning more about human biology and the brain and computer science, I think sometime in the 22nd century is when that's going to happen.
I mean, most of us will be alive, right?
Yeah, of course. Modern medicine.
Well, in the year 2100, I'll be 110.
Well,
You weren't making it there, honey.
I'm not saying that it's impossible for me to be that old. I'm just saying I will be an old fucker.
Yeah, and God, why were we even talking about this? Hold on. We segued so fucking hard.
I know, and you said you weren't going to let this happen. You're a terrible host.
Did I say? I don't think I promised any of that. I'm drunk.
Wait.
And first of all,
that's the beauty. We don't promise any of it.
Yeah, WTFs don't
Dude,
promise
no.
anything except us talking about what we actually
first
want to
of
talk
all,
about.
Alex, I'll have you know this is the John and the Ty show. Okay, you and Show are just guests on our humble podcast. We invited you here not to make fun of us, but to just experience this with us.
Yep.
Yeah, Alex, you're so out of line. You need to
Exactly.
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
But here's the thing: for another like
a snippet.
1:30 a.m. thought, okay? It's like, what would you hope for like the next 50 years of like the industry progressing forward, specifically in gaming, to like develop and like make the whole virtual reality better? You know?
I love immersion. I love immersion in all forms of entertainment. That's why I like Overlord a lot. They do a lot of world building. There's a lot of immersion where I can just get lost in the world.
And there's
explore
Bone Daddy.
And there's Bone Daddy. But I miss the days, back in middle school when I was still a little youngling that could experience books and be like, oh, I've never heard of this concept before. Oh, I've never heard of this storyline before. And I could just dive into it, okay? And as I've grown older and read a lot more things, I've just realized, like, everyone just rehashes the same old fucking stories with different, like, premises or different executions, but it's always the same general storyline. And it's just, ugh. So I hope that the next step we take in immersion is that we get to be in the game, like as an actual character that actually has consequences, not just like pre-scripted shit. Like we actually get to choose how we do it. Like they're like, oh, there's a bandit camp. Then it's like, well, we get to choose how we kill the bandit camp. Maybe we make friends with them. Maybe we trap them in a cave and smoke them to death. Maybe we just go out and kill them all. Who cares? I wish there would be more adaptive AI to that. Like I understand I'm asking for a tall order because that's insane. That's the next level of AI, but I want it to happen. And if that happens and then Skynet happens, and oh well, I for one
It's a noble sacrifice, right?
I for one welcome our new robot overlords. Okay.
Her name is Melody.
I'll do it. Let's do it.
What about you, Alex? Do you have something in particular you feel like you want to see
Sex
go
bots.
through?
No,
God damn it!
Obviously, this man.
In games or just in computer science in general?
Whatever you want it, just go for it.
I mean, obviously, I'm very intrigued by artificial intelligence, seeing as how I actually have a computer science degree. I want to see that grow, and I think eventually we will get to the point where you won't be able to tell whether you're talking to an artificial intelligence or a person. I think that's a long ways off still. I certainly don't think we're within 20 years like Elon Musk believes we are, but I think it's
I don't know,
eventually
dude.
going to happen.
Have you seen all the deepfakes that are out on YouTube and on the
Those are
internet?
scary.
I
really.
have
They
seen.
are super scary. Like the Joe
Yeah.
Rogan deepfake that someone did for shits and
It's
giggles.
so
where
scary,
he
dude.
talks
So
about
realistic.
the fucking bamboos and steroids or something.
Yeah, I know.
It's so crazy.
I will say that the one thing that intrigues me more about that is the audio ones more so than the video ones, because I watch the video ones and maybe it's just because I have terrible eyesight, as you can probably tell from the glasses, but I can't tell when the deepfake kicks in. I honestly can't tell.
And that's the scary thing about the future, like cyber crimes being set up. Oh, I totally skipped show, but I'm gonna say my piece. But I love the show. All right.
Once you say your piece, Show will go on to say he is.
It's very scary. We're looking at the evolution of technology and how fast we are progressing, but I think it's, the next thing is like altered carbon, where we're going to be able to get alien technology where we can upload our consciousness. Like, I think that's super cool. I think it's super interesting. So we could literally live forever.
I'm still waiting for stand arrows, to be honest with you.
That's not real technology, but
No,
show.
but it is alien technology.
No, shut up. It's Show's turn to talk. Show.
All I want is a very simple wish. Can I get more MMOs, please?
Oh.
Please.
See, so I wanted to end this podcast right before we got to a minute or an hour and 30 because this has been so long and I'm super drunk and I have to pee. But
Same.
Show, I'm sorry, but MMOs are something from the mid 2000s and they're never coming back, baby.
No.
You say that, but apparently Final Fantasy 14 is still going really strong.
Yeah, but that's
Which is
like
really
there's
surprising.
only a handful.
There's
of
never
MMOs.
been a good Final Fantasy since 7. There hasn't
Oh.
been. I'm sorry.
And with that,
I never played any of them, so I don't know.
Alex, lead us out because I'm too drunk. And
Oh
I need to
fuck! I
pee.
don't have the script up. Give me a second.
All right.
No, I
thank
got
you all
this.
for
I know.
coming
Fuck
in
it. I
to-
got this.
to
Shut up.
listen.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I got
Wait,
this.
Alex, we need to the outro right. Go for
Yes.
it, John.
Wow.
Thank you all for coming in and listening to us. If you enjoyed what we talked about, then you can shoot us an email. Or if
You already
have-
fucked it up.
You know what, Alex? It doesn't matter. This is WTF. But you can follow us down below on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube,
BitChute,
BitChute, whatever the fuck that is.
Apple Podcasts,
Apple Podcasts,
and Spotify.
Pornhub,
and I already said
OnlyFans.
Spotify.
Oh,
X video.
You can
Well,
subscribe. to my
you can follow
OnlyFans.
Show on his OnlyFans.
You can follow Show or me, John, at our OnlyFans, where we'll give you
I
the
take bells.
sauciest of nudes. For bells or for real currency?
We need to pay our debt to Nuke. That's the thing. The problem.
Alex, I don't remember the rest. Go ahead.
Nuke won't take
All
my
right.
nudes, so
Yeah.
I have to pay him some other way.
All right, thank you all there for dropping in to listen to us. We hope you enjoyed it because we always enjoy bringing this stuff to you. If you want to check out other episodes of the podcast, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, BitChute, SoundCloud, and Spotify. If you want to keep up what we're doing, you can join us on Discord, Facebook, Twitter, and our website. Shut the fuck up, John. Shoot us an email if you have Shoot us an email if you have any questions or if you have ideas for topics you'd like for us to talk about in the future. If you just listen to this on SoundCloud, I feel really sorry for you because you missed some good entertainment at the end. Links to all these things will be found down below in the description. As always, John has been your host, and he will see you next time. Say goodnight, everybody.
I'm drunk.
Welcome to the John and Itai podcast, dude, featuring Alex. Show, by the way. Have a splendid night.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, you meant to say, oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, that reminds me.
Everything is
Before
a JoJo's reference.
before I end this video, I got
not
something to
everyone.
show you, and it's I bought a new JoJo's figure. Hold on.
Okay.
Wait, show it. Show it to me. right
show-
I
now.
was so scared. Alex was like, "Before you leave, I got something to show you." Reaches down to his pants, and I'm like, "End this now, please."
Nope.
Show it, Alex, right now.
Nope. Natalia
No.
gets to see best boy.
Johan Kishibe. Okay,
ending
we
the
can
podcast.
stop recording right now.
All right.
Okay.